Hello everyone, and today we're going to be working on how to replace your deck lid panel for the S550 Mustangs. Now this process is pretty simple and done in a few easy steps, so let's jump right in. Now some of you may want to change out your deck lid panel just to customize your Mustang. Unfortunately, my deck lid panel was melted just a little bit. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to take out my aftermarket deck lid and replace it with a Ford Performance deck lid. And here's some of the tools we're going to be using. A nylon car panel removal set, a 7mm socket with a socket wrench, a 5.5mm socket with an extension, and we have a couple of needle nose pliers we're going to be using. And of course, a soft surface for our deck lid panel. For step one, we're going to remove the deck lid latch cover using our plastic pry tool. So go right under it, pry against it, and it should pop right off. Step two, we're going to remove the trunk release handle. This comes right off, and all you have to do is go ahead and push on that center latch right there, push down, and then the metal wire should come right out like so. And then we'll put that aside. Next, there are 9 retaining pins. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to come over 7, and then 8, and then 9. And then, of course, we have 2 bumpers, 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and start with the trunk lid bumpers. These are very easy to come off. All you have to do is unscrew them counterclockwise, like you're undoing a bolt. Very easy to come out. So that's 1 and 2. Step 4, we'll take our plastic pry tool and go ahead and remove the 9 retaining pins. So all you have to do is get under it, pry against it, and it should pop right out. Just like so, and we're going to do that 9 times. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And as we remove the 9th pin, that trim panel is going to start falling down, so just make sure you grab it and go ahead and remove it from that cable on the right side there. Step 6, we'll go ahead and remove our 2 screw covers. These come out very easily. They're just 2 plastic pieces at the end of the trunk. So we'll just take a plastic pry tool, get under it, and should pop right off. And we'll do the second side as well. So it's going to pop that side off as well. And there we go. Once we remove the 2 screw covers, you're going to see 2 screws under each cover. So we have one on the left side and one on the right. So we're going to remove all 4 of those screws. And we're going to be using our 7mm socket and socket wrench and go remove all 4 screws. And as the screw starts loosening up, take it out very slowly so you don't drop it in the trunk. And we're going to do the second one just as well. See how close we got right there? So go very slow, go very easy. And number 3, and then we're going to do the last one, number 4. And this one almost slipped as well. And there we go, all 4 are out. Step 8, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our rear camera. Very simple. Just push on the little latch right there and pull it right off. All right, here comes the area of caution. This step is very important that you tread lightly on. Some videos and some instructions may have you pry on the top of the deck lid right here. And when you pry on it, you see that little dent? That's how you get dents in your trunk, is when you pry on the deck lid from the top. So be very careful if you're going to do that. Instead, we're going to go in the trunk and disengage these metal clips. All I have to do is push with the needle nose pliers, and then we're going to go ahead and push the deck lid outward. So I'm going to push on the clip and then push outward until it's disengaged, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the deck lid. All you have to do is pull downward, and this one slid right off. Now, if your deck lid doesn't come off so easy, come in from the side right here and go ahead and take your plastic pry tool and go ahead and pry a little bit on the side just to go ahead and disengage those metal clips. And for step 11, we're going to inspect and remove any remaining metal clips that are in the trunk. There's 4 holes you want to look for. They're going to be right here. If you see any metal clips, take your needle nose pliers and go ahead and remove them. Once we have our old deck lid off, put it on a soft surface so we can remove this camera right here. And we're going to remove the camera using a 5.5mm socket and a socket wrench. And there's going to be the 2 screws. So we're going to go ahead and loosen up both of them. And these come all the way out. There's one. Now the second one I had to put the extension in there just because of the way the socket wrench was rubbing against the connection piece. So I went ahead and took the socket wrench there, took the second screw out, and the camera should slide right out like so. And we're going to go ahead and set that aside. And then we'll go ahead and take our old deck lid, throw it aside, and bring in our Ford Performance new deck lid. And this one has a plastic piece that's already there. It's just a spacer or a placeholder. So we'll go ahead and remove the 2 screws from the placeholder, remove it out, and go ahead and put in the rear camera the same way that it came out. And we're going to go ahead and reinstall those 2 screws that came out. Now both the screws are the same on both deck lids, so it doesn't matter which ones we use. And just go ahead and tighten them up until they're snug. And that camera looks perfect. Beautiful. And under our deck lid we have 2 hooks that need to go into a bracket on our trunk. So all we got to do is lay down the deck lid on the trunk and make sure it's lined up, and then you should be able to push upward and you should hear a snap. Just like this. With the deck lid panel snapped in, we can go ahead and install the 4 panel screws. So all you gotta do is get them to they're nice and snug. So that's 2, 3, and 4. We're almost done. Let's go ahead and reconnect the rear camera. That snaps back in, like so. And then we're going to install our screw covers. These snap back in, no tools required. Now we can reattach our trim panel. Make sure you put that trunk release cable in the right hole. And while holding the trim panel, go ahead and install those 9 retaining pins. No tools are required, just push them right in the hole. And we're almost done. Let's go ahead and screw in our 2 bumpers right here. And this is just like a bolt. Once you get it started, all you gotta do is screw it clockwise until it stops. Let's go ahead and install our deck lid latch cover. Pushes right in and you should hear it snap. And for our last step, we're going to install our trunk release handle. Just take our cable, push it right between the grooves right there. So it should push right down until you hear it snap. And there it is. And then go ahead and place it right back in the hole. Now we can take a look at our final product. This deck lid looks amazing. There is no flaws on this. It looks perfect. Well, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.